A warm good morning to all of you today. We have engineers Mr. N. Ahilash, Mr. M. A. V. H. M. Arachi, Mr. H. G. H. N. Jayasekhara, and Mr. M. Sajeevan from Shah Solution Private Limited for a discussion about a contaminated land risk analysis and remediations.
There is an abundant industrial place near Alaska. Near the location, there is a primary school, and the new principal of the school complained that the water obtained from the borehole in the school is smelling different. Then we visited there, inspected the location, and we gathered information. Then we found that there are two chemical storage tanks in the industrial area and it contains Dinosob and Linden. From further observation and chemical storage data, it was clear it is leaking 135 kilograms per year for last 20 years. From geological data, it was apparent that the groundwater is flowing through the tank to primary school and after that it is reaching the lake which is in 37 meter distance from the spill point. There is high chance of the mixing of chemicals with groundwater, therefore we rushed to do the risk analysis for targets in our study area. While working on the analysis, unfortunately, another spill was happened suddenly and it was 23 kilograms. In our study area, from 3 locations, public is consuming water. First one is primary school, which is in 15 meter distance from the spill point and there 200 children and 10 adults are under exposure. They are consuming water from the borehole. Second, the water supply for 20,000 people from the town through the pipeline. It is pumped from the 100 meter of the lake from the bank. The third consumer is another town with 15,000 people and the water was supplied from the sluice gate of the dam. The high priority target is children from primary school and their vulnerability for toxicity is higher than adults as their organs are still in growing condition. Their exposure is 40 weeks per year and they use water for drinking and cooking purposes. But when we consider town, there will be different type of people with different vulnerability conditions because the age, exposure period, affected disease earlier and etc. will decide the vulnerability for toxicity. Mostly, the town people consume water from the lake throughout the year, then it is full-time exposure for polluted water.
Here, we are considering Dinosob and Linden. Both are harmful chemicals for human body. If we take Dinosob in the drinking water will rapidly absorb by digestive system and Dinosob in the drinking water kept on open surface become vapor and absorbed by respiratory system. Also, while bathing, skin will absorb the chemical. Short-term exposure of Dinosob will cause sweating, headache and mood swings. These are temporary effects due to temporary consuming. But consumed for long term will cause deadly effect. When the chemical exposed to human body, liver will try to eliminate its toxicity by oxidation, detoxification and conjunction. During these processes, Dinosob will break into pieces and form uncharacteristic products which are not harmful and not useful to human body. Let's go to main problems. When Dinosob exposed to blood, it will highly bound with plasma proteins like fibrinogen and prothrombin. So when you get a cut wound, it will take long time to stop bleeding because there is lack of fibrinogen and prothrombin for clotting processes. Same time, it will collapse the blood equilibrium. Due to this, the clotting will happen within the blood vessels and form bigger particles than blood cells. These particles will block the small blood vessels which are used to supply blood to muscles and brain. This condition in heart will cause cardiac muscle failure and in brain it's coma. For pregnant ladies, it will affect the development of babies and results disabled children or brain poor developed children. At last, in the digestive system, it will affect digestion and absorption processes. In total, long-term exposure of Dinosob to human body will cause full body failure. If we take Linden is directly used as a human drug, therefore no harmful effect to human body. in short-term exposure for most percentage of people. Only consuming linden for long-term affects human body. It will cause vomiting sensation and vomiting, restlessness, tremor, ataxia, and chaos. More than 40 years of exposure of linden might cause toxic effects, but these effects are reversible, that is, curable. If you already have these symptoms mentioned above, please visit the hospital near to your place.
When considering about the risk, Dinosob has been found as the highest risk rate. You can compare the given predicted risk values with graphs for different targets and different contaminants, linden or Dinosob. You can compare them and you can understand even before the instant spill happens, the concentration of the contaminants are well above the high risk level. So what does it mean? That means even now we are living in a highly riskily contaminated area with both of the contaminants, and it is for all the villages and school. About this calculation, these calculations are done in a way, standard way, by calculating hazard index, or it is known as HI value, and we calculated it considering exposure conditions of the village and school, as they are different from school to village, because the school is conducting 5 days a week, whereas the villages are using water daily. So normally this value should be less than 1, but here, even before the recent spill incident, it is above 1. For linden it's around 7. For Dinosob it's above even 100. Now you can understand the risk level of the contamination. Due to this recent instant spill situation, the risk is predicted to be increased. So there will be a peak in risk for both of the contaminants for every target. The peak is reducing with time because they tend to decay with time. Dinosob and linden will decay with time. That means instant spill effect will be less in town too for both of the contaminants. As they are situated in a long distance from the contamination sources, the risk will be less in those town too. Highest risk predicted for linden is 7.2, whereas the Dinosob it is well above 100, as I said. Maximum risk of linden is affected for school, and for Dinosob it is in town 1. Even though it is far than town school, town 1 has been critical because of the exposure conditions. School is not conducting 7 days a week, so that difference in exposure conditions, town 1 has been critical. But we have to understand, but all these risk value is above 1. That means we are living in high hazard level. So we have to understand even now this is going to be increased. It is not going to be decreased with effects of the instant spill. And you can see we have given two risk levels. Risk levels means HI values for children and adult. And always the risk level for child is higher than adult value. You can compare with them and you can see, and from that you can get that always the child is in danger more than the adult. So in our calculations, immediate remediation is required for reducing these risks.
Considering our risk assignment, we should take some action immediately to prevent consumption of contaminated water temporarily in this high-risk area. We should give a clear picture condition, awareness of health risk and instruction to follow to high-risk area peoples. Then we should move to the external drinking water supply system until remediation process happen in this area. For that we can temporarily use temporary RO filter system. Otherwise, water can be transferred from other good place for supply customer day-to-day water demand by using bowsers, this kind of thing. And water can be pumped from borehole before the contaminant point. Meanwhile, we should inform the required authority to speed up the process of risk management plan. The medical society the medical society should be informed about contaminant and its effect to the people who affect with this contaminant. Health sector officer can help to handle risk quickly. Executive treatment method are the recommended for this location. In this process, groundwater should take out to the remediation from pumps. The required pumping capacity is 0.0077 meter cube per second with 4 meter head. After pumping contaminant water into the ground, we should remove their linden and dinosep using another treatment method. For remove this organic contaminant, we can use sorption by active carbon method, photocatalysis method, and RO plant method. Meanwhile, in RO plant method, there is no harmful chemicals, but it costly and it will remove all required minerals from water. These are the main issues in this RO method. But we highly recommend this sorption by active carbon using active carbon filters because of simple design, easy operation, economic and less limitation happen there. After treating this water, we will be pump this water again to the groundwater. This is the main process in our remediation. If anyone have any question or needed more clarification, you can ask it now.
In risk analysis, you are analyzing for children and adults. Here you didn't consider elders. Any particular reason for that?
Okay, I will explain this. Chance of get affected for elders falling between children and adults. We are doing risk assessment and uncertainty analysis for both boundary conditions. So there is no need for separate analysis for elders. And another reason is there is no elders in primary school.
So you said that you have calculated the risk values in some way, right? So therefore, is there any possibility that these values can be different with real values? Kind of an uncertainty?
Yes, I can answer your question. Yeah, there is uncertainty in our calculations, but we have taken it into our considerations. All the parameters, that means all the variables that we taken for our calculations, we took uncertainty values. As example, you think that we are measuring a distance with a tape, but the real measured value, it will have a range there with the range with its minimum value. Like that, we calculated our parameters with 95 confidence interval. So I think you got your answer. For every calculations, we got 95% confidence interval. Simply, it is enough for this kind of situation, this kind of calculations in risk calculations. So yes, our calculations have uncertainty and we have considered it and we have reduced it, and yeah, we are 95% confidence with our results.
Can you further explain that? How did you process the prediction of the concentration of contaminants in the consuming locations of the targets in your study area?
Okay, I can answer for you. We used mathematical models to predict the concentration and transport of the contaminant. For both continuous and instant spill, we did the model with different boundary conditions. The required data for the models was measured from the site and others were obtained from resources. In Earth, sorption and zero order decay was considered in the model, but dinosaur won't decay in anaxic condition. Lake was modeled as PFR by considering series of 20 CMFRs. If anyone keen to know more about the analyzed method, you can refer the report in our website.
All values used here are predicted values. Then how can you tell there will be the same concentration in the site?
Yes, they are predicted values. But after a week of analysis, we collected samples from the site. It's light within the uncertainty range. So predicted values are correct and the model is applicable.
So your remediation process seems to be taking more time. Meanwhile, what are the things and what are the foundation that you have taken for implementing your solution?
Yes, I can answer that. We are currently talking with these relevant authorities like irrigation department and water board to get in those water houses and the water sources for them and transportation of water. We have talked with governor about the cost of this remediation process and process of getting that money from the government. These meetings in a positive situation and currently successful. We will improve our redimentation very soon.
Any other questions? Then we can wind up the session. Thank you.